Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to East Meets West, a lecture demonstration focused on Bharatanatyam and ballet. We will start today's program off with a dance called Taya Yashoda. Taya Yashoda is originally a devotional song in praise of the Hindu god Krishna. Tonight you will see this traditional piece fused with elements of ballet. Here to display this beautiful piece are Aathira Balu, Aubrey Houle, Mira Menon, and Julia Walden. And once again, welcome to East Meets West.
everybody, and welcome to East Meets West, a lecture demonstration between Bharatnatyam and ballet. And we are all so glad that you can make it here today with us. I know it's a Sunday evening, we have work or school tomorrow, but just forget about that for an hour and a half. And we're here to entertain you. We hope that you will like it. So without further ado, let's get started.
Okay, so to begin, who are we? My name is Mira Menon. I'm 16. I'm a junior at Panther Creek High School. I'm sure a lot of y'all know me, but yeah.
And my name is Aathira Balu. I'm 17 and a senior at Apex High School.
So, dancing has always been one of my greatest passions. I began Bharatanatyam at the age of 7. It's such a challenging yet rewarding journey, and I hope to be able to share everything I've learned over the years with you guys today.
And my passions are dancing, singing, and playing piano. And I started learning Bharatanatyam when I was 6 years old, so long time ago. But I've loved it ever since. And Mira and I have a combined learning experience of Bharatanatyam of 20 years. And we learned from the Kalasrishti School of Performing Arts from our amazing teacher, Meena Rajgopal.
So, Aathira, why are we here today?
Good question, Mira. So we've always taken an interest in other dance forms apart from our own and identified ballet as a widely known classical dance form that really parallels in technique to Bharatanatyam. So one day we were just sitting and talking and we just came up with this cool idea to bring both of these wonderful dance forms together to explore their similarities, differences, and cultures, and share it with diverse audiences and just educate the community in general.
So in order to make this project possible, we teamed up with Infinity Ballet. I'd like to introduce Hannah and Aubrey because they've made this project as amazing as it is today. Hi, I'm Hannah.
Okay. Hi, I'm Hannah Green. I'm 18 years old and I recently graduated from Infinity Ballet after dancing there for 13 years. I'm now a psychology major at NC State University and I'm a dancer with NC State's Panoramic Dance Project.
Hi, my name is Aubrey Houle. I'm 17 years old and currently a senior at Apex Friendship High School. I've been dancing at Infinity Ballet for 14 years, ever since I was 3 years old. And now I have the wonderful opportunity to, this will be my second year as official faculty there, teaching my own lessons on Saturday mornings to young aspiring ballerinas.
So now that you've gotten to know us a little bit more, let's dive into what these dance forms are all about, because that's why we're here, right? Yeah. Okay. So Bharatanatyam. When you hear Bharatanatyam, you may think extravagant costumes, makeup, and jewelry, but it is so much more than that. Bharatanatyam is one of the oldest dance forms to originate in southern India, and it was performed exclusively in Hindu temples depicting many famous Hindu mythological stories. And Bharatanatyam in itself incorporates a variety of technical aspects, but these aspects help portray stories that a dancer will show on stage. And then in turn, these stories gives the audience a chance to really connect with what's going on during a performance.
All right, I want to ask everybody, what do you think of when you hear the word ballet? Tutus. Anything else? Tiptoes. Point shoes. Anything else? Beauty. I like your answer. I like your answer. So there's a lot of things that come to mind when you hear the word ballet, or maybe not. But hopefully today you'll learn something new about ballet.
Okay, so to kind of begin with the origins of Bharatanatyam, it originated in southern India in a state called Tamil Nadu. It was based on the Natya Shastra, which is kind of like a classical text detailing how to portray emotions on stage, written by Bharata Muni, hence the name Bharatanatyam. So it was originally performed at temples or places of worship by Devadasis, or experienced dancers, and it has gone through a lot of evolutions to be the art form that it is today.
All right, so the origins of ballet. For many of you who may not know, ballet didn't actually start here in the States. It came all the way from the Italian Renaissance courts, where it was reserved as a means of entertainment for the aristocratic society and to entertain the royal families. And with time, it was introduced to other countries such as Russia and France, and eventually it's made its way here into the United States.
So now we're going to get into like the nitty-gritty of both of our, not super nitty-gritty, I promise, not going to be boring. But, so we're going to start with the Bharatanatyam basics. So Bharatanatyam is known to have three main streams or aspects. So the first one is nritta, which is pure technical dance. So this basically means sequences of dance without any implied meaning to the audience. The second one is abhinaya, which is all about the facial expressions that a dancer will use to portray stories through emotion. And then the third one is nritya, which is the combination of both nritta, pure dance, and abhinaya, facial expressions, just making the dance as a whole very interpretive.
Basics. This is still me talking. Every time we run this presentation, I forget I'm supposed to talk here. Okay, so for the basics of ballet, there are two main, I guess you could say, styles to ballet. Well, even then, the term style may not be the best word to use, but we have classical ballet, which is very, as it sounds, classical. It's going to be your fundamental kind of starting place of ballet. And then over time we've had people like George Balanchine, one of the big names in ballet here in America, and he would take these classical elements and tweak them, maybe take away some of those feminine aspects, make things a little more angular and sharp and intricate, and just be different, giving it the title of neoclassical ballet. And so today we do see a lot of mixture within companies, within performances. The piece you just watched had a lot of neoclassical elements to it. So yeah.
Okay, so at this point in the lecture, we'd like to invite the demonstrators for this evening to come up on stage. They're just going to be able to kind of provide a visual representation of everything we're just going to be kind of talking about. So I'm going to be talking about artavus, which are the basic building blocks of Bharatanatyam. So artavus are kind of a combination of leg movement, hand gestures, and body posture that come together to form steps. So I'd like to invite Nikita to go through some of the common artavus, but before she does anything, she's going to start with a namaskaram, which is a kind of invocation of blessings before the dancer embarks on her journey. Okay, awesome. So I'm going to go through the jati, or the spoken syllable that has no meaning, that the dancer will do the artavu to, before I go through each artavu. So starting with the tat artavu, which is the basic teya te, so teya te, teya te. And then we have the nat artavu, which is teyum tatta teyita, so teyum tatta teyita, teyum tatta teyita. Then we have the kuditametta artavu, which is tehatte, 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 tehatte. And then we have the sutra artavu, which is te, te, so te, te, te. And now we're going to be kind of going through a sequence of how these artavus would combine together to show you what that would look like.
I'll be saying the jati this time. Okay.
Ta, te, ta, di, ta, did, te, taka, takita, taka, takita, te, ta, te, did, te.
Alright, so before dancers can hit the stage, they have to train very hard, because although ballet is an art, it's also very athletic. So most dancers start from a very young age. Say, when did you start dancing, Aubrey?
I started dancing when I was 3.
Julia? 3. Selena? 3. I started when I was 5, and the reason for this is because there are a lot of muscles that dancers use that we don't use in our everyday life, and we have to build up these muscles as well as strengthening and stretching them at the same time. And we also develop our turnout, which is why you can usually spot a dancer, because she kind of walks like a duck. And so classes are typically 90 minutes long. Dancers are usually at the studio 6 days a week. And we start at the bar, and then we go into the center. And these classes are pretty formal. Normally, when you enter the classroom or when you're about to leave, you perform a reverence to the teacher. Can you demonstrate a reverence for us, ladies? And this is just to respect the teacher and, if you're lucky, a live pianist. So these classes are really important because they build the foundation of our dancing. And even professionals go back and take beginner level classes because the technique is that important.
Okay, so now we're going to talk about these things. Very important in Bharatanatyam. So we call these mudras, or hand gestures, and mudras are used to display outer feelings as well as inner feelings, as well as the physical surroundings of a dancer when they're portraying a story or situation on stage. And asamita astahas are mudras displayed with one hand, while samita astahas are mudras displayed with two hands. So there are a couple of pictures on the slide. So from the top left corner we have Patakam, Alapadmam, Kataka Mukham, and Mayuram. So those are just a few examples, but I would like to invite Anupama now, who will just demonstrate how some of how mudras like these would come into play during a dance. So first we have a bird. Then we have Shiva, who is the god of destruction. Then we have a flower. And finally, a snake.
So port de bras means carriage of the arms, and these arms help coordinate our movements and help to convey different styles and even characters. There are 6 basic port de bras ranging from Julia, demi port de bras, first port de bras, and even more complex forms like 6 port de bras.
This may have been one you recognized from the first piece we performed.
And like I said before, they can help convey different characters. So, say Julia's a doll, she's going to have more angular, rigid arms. And if she's a snowflake, she's also going to have some more angular arms and maybe catch some snowflakes at the same time. And if we're in a more Spanish-influenced dance like Don Quixote, we might have a hip on the arm. Hip on the arm. So, yes, these arms are very important in establishing style as well as helping us dance.
Okay, so on to the mandalas, or the leg positions in Bharatanatyam. So Nikita will come up and show some of the common mandalas that a dancer will take. So starting off Stanaka, which is the basic resting phase in Bharatanatyam. As you can see, her hands are on her hip and her feet are together. Next we have Ayata or Aramandi, which is the most basic Bharatanatyam mandala. And as you can see, her feet are facing outwards and she's kind of in a half sit position and her knees are also bent. Now the full sit would be called Murumandi, and she's all the way down. And then we have Alira, which is a diagonal step backwards, along with Pratyalira, which is a step forwards. Then we have Prenkana, in which one foot is resting on the other in Aramandi. Prerita, which is a lunge forward. And finally Swastika, in which one foot is crossed over the other.
All right, that was lovely to watch. So for ballet, we do, yes, have our arms, which oftentimes our audience does get so caught up in our arms doing wonderful, pretty port de bras, but we also have the downstairs. We've got our legs and our feet. So I'd like to invite Selena out to demonstrate the 5 basic positions of the feet that we use in ballet. Starting with first position, where her feet are turned outwards, going into second, where her heels rest just underneath her hip bones, and crossing into third. And third position acts as a preliminary 5th position, as young dancers are not quite able to cross their legs all the way completely, especially with their bodies still growing and changing. And she'll go into 4th position, where if you're looking down, her feet are toe to heel, with about a foot's length in between. And she'll close to 5th, where her feet look nice and tight in the shoebox. You can relax, that's great. So, it's not very comfortable to stand there all day. while these are the basic 5 positions of the feet, they build onto each other and transfer into point work. Hence the shoes that Selena are wearing, if you jump up really quick, where she can dance on her toes. Okay? So, in the process, amazing, right? Okay, so, in the works of practicing this lecture demonstration, we actually stumbled across a lot of similarities in some of the elements we are going to be demonstrating. So I'd like to invite you back out. Yes, and we're going to show you some of the positions that we almost accidentally came across.
Yeah, so starting off with Aramandi in Bharatanatyam.
For ballet, we call this demi-plie.
And then going down into Mudamandi.
Grand plie. And typically a ballet dancer is not going to hang out down here. It's more of a transition kind of step.
Alida.
We'll take a good morning. We'll take a tendu écarté devant.
Pratyalida.
Tendu effacé derrière.
Swastika.
Croisé derrière. And what was interesting about this finding was that it was very typical in Bharatanatyam for the leg to be crossed in the front, whereas in ballet it's more common for it to be in the back.
And finally, Prankana.
And we'll take sur le coup de pied. Again, not something we kind of just hang out in. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so now we would like to talk about abhinaya, or facial expressions, which, as we mentioned earlier, is the second main aspect of Bharatanatyam. So abhinaya is very important because it really helps create the mood of a story, like we said earlier, when a dancer is portraying a situation or an event, and like I said earlier, famous Hindu mythological stories. So in Bharatanatyam, there are the 9 main emotions called the Navarasas. Nava meaning 9 in Sanskrit. So I would like to invite Anupama once again to demonstrate what each Navarasa consists of. So first we have Shringaram, which means love. Then we have Hasyam, which means laughter. Yeah, like what you're doing now. Okay, Karunam, which means compassion. Then we have Adbhutam, which means wonder or surprise. Then we have Bibhatsam, which means disgust. Veeram, which means bravery. Raudram, which means anger. Bhayanakam, which means fear. And finally, for the 9th one, Shantam, which means peace.
So in ballet, while we may not have set and named facial expressions, we do have similar elements that kind of take the same place. So I'm going to have Julia come out first. And so we're going to kind of equate this to what is called épaulement. And essentially, it's the coordination of our upper body, arms, and head that complete a line. And without proper épaulement, you're actually not doing your positions and movements correct. So Julia, if you could take a tendu croisé devant for me. This looks cool, right? It's like, oh, pretty. But it's actually not correct. If she uses her épaulement, wow. Yeah? You see a difference? Not only can it's more appealing to the eye, but oftentimes the dancer will look larger and be dancing beyond her fingertips. That's really great. And so épaulement is also used to, it transfers into pantomime, which is our, you could say, facial expressions where we're able to tell the obvious points of a story. So if Selena and Julia, if you could jump back out here again. This will be an excerpt of a little pantomime from our version of the Nutcracker. Selena will be kind of looking like our sugar plum fairy, and Julia is going to be Claire. The context of this is young Clara has just made her way out of the land of snowflakes, battle with soldiers and mice, oh my. Very good, girls. So what just happened, right? So as I'm sure you first noticed, Clara and Sugar Plum exchanged each other with a curtsy. That was a simple way of greeting one another, very common. And we then saw Julia do this weird thing with her hands. She was telling the story. There were mice, there was a battle, there was a stabbing, and then there was death. Yes, it's a kid-friendly show, I promise. But so with the use of facial expression and these obvious arm gestures, we're able to really add excitement to a story. The same way for Bharatanatyam, we have facial expressions.
Okay, so on to the Bharatanatyam costume, which is probably one of the most eye-catching features of Bharatanatyam. And as you can see here, they're always in very vivid and bright colors, and they kind of mimic the traditional Indian sari with their embroidery. And as always, also, there are folds in the bottom half of the costume that can open up when the dancer takes various postures. So as you can see, when Anupama is taking Murumandi, her fan is opened all the way up, and when Nikita takes Aramandi, it kind of opens up mostly. So you guys can relax. The costume for Bharatanatyam is not just the costume itself. There's also the extravagant jewelry that adorns the dancer that also serves holistic purposes along with kind of making it more eye-catching to the audience. Along with that, they have the ankle bells that accentuate all the foot beats that they enunciate throughout the performance, and heavy cosmetics or makeup that you can see their eyes are very drawn out, along with on their fingertips and on their feet they have red dye to show every small movement of the hands and the toes.
So of course in ballet we have the beautiful classical tutu. However, when ballet first started, dancers wore very long skirts because showing your legs is scandalous.
Even longer than Julia's.
Yes.
Maybe ankle bones.
But as dancers started to move more with their legs and start to really strengthen the muscles in their legs, they want to show that off. So slowly, the skirts got shorter and shorter into the romantic tutu, and then up into the pancake tutu that we know today. Another aspect of ballerina that makes a ballerina is her point shoes. Again, when ballet first originated, there were no point shoes. Dancers wore satin slippers. And to create the illusion of floating, sometimes they were kind of lifted up a little bit into the air with wires, and their toes would just kind of skim across the ground. But Marie Taglioni was the first ballerina to do a full-length ballet on point. She didn't actually have actual point shoes like we do today. Today we have very supportive shoes. Selena, if you could tap your shoe there to show how hard it is. Yeah, so now we have the box to support it, but she just darned the ends. And what she did was she bore it across the floor, and the audience was shocked. As you can see, point shoes make things look very ethereal and create this illusion of flotation, whereas on flat, it's not as smooth.
It's still pretty though.
Yes. So over time, dancers were able to do more complex steps as the shoe hardened. So before, they might just do a little arabesque on and off the shoe, just like that. But today, we can do more cool things like pirouettes because our shoes can support us.
Paper mache, that's what they're standing on. Very, very intense paper mache.
Yes. And we, oops. There we go. We also wear a lot of makeup. It helps us get into character, but also it helps define our features. And we wear our hair up so that when we turn, our hair doesn't fly into our eyes and it's a distraction. It also extends the line. So as you can see, we try to make, if you turn to the side, our bun kind of extend past the cheekbone to kind of extend our lines outward.
So dance can't exist without music, right? So now we're going to talk about Bharatanatyam music. So Bharatanatyam is paired with Carnatic music, which also originated in southern India. And they work really well together because the precision of Carnatic music matches the Bharatanatyam beats and just everything in general. So Carnatic music, when it's being used with a Bharatanatyam performance, it can either be live or recorded, and typically for an arangetram, which is considered a Bharatanatyam dancer's graduation of learning the dance form, live music is most popularly used. So now I'm going to say a couple examples of some instruments that would be used during a performance. So first we have the mridangam, which is a double-sided drum, which you can see at the bottom of the slide. It's kind of a clip art picture. We couldn't find an actual one. And then we have the Nattabangam, which are cymbals. And then we have a veena, which is an Indian stringed instrument, which you can see at the top of the slide. And then flutes and violins can be used as well. So these instruments really help create the mood of a story or situation that a dancer would be depicting. So for example, if there's a scary or suspenseful scene, the mridangam would be used a lot. But if there's a more sympathetic or sad scene, a flute or a violin may be used.
On the same note,
She made this joke yesterday.
yeah, it was unintended too. It was great. But in ballet, music is used to create the overall mood of the dance. I mean, dancing and music, it goes hand in hand. But it can cue the audience into what kind of character is about to come on. So if an evil character is about to come on, you might hear more of a rumbling, dark music. But say Sugar Plum is coming on, you'll hear her theme music. And something that's really interesting about ballet is that if you're dancing with a live orchestra, there's a relationship between the dancer and the conductor. So say if a dancer is balancing on her toes, then the conductor might hold, I guess, the people playing the music for longer so that she can balance. And so it goes both ways.
So at this point, we would like to thank our demonstrators for all the hard work and effort they put into this helping us. Okay, so this concludes the lecture part of our demonstration. Don't leave yet, there is more. There is more. So if you have any questions, there will be a question and answer session at the end. So hold on to them, don't forget them. And before we leave the stage, we have a little message we wanted to give to you.
So our program tonight is actually for a cause. When we were coming up with this presentation, we'd always kind of known we wanted to do it as a charity performance, but we didn't really have a cause that stuck out until recently in our ancestral homeland, Kerala. I'm sure many of you are familiar with the floods that occurred, and it caused a lot of destruction to buildings, left many people homeless, and it was just not a good situation. And that coupled with the Hurricane Florence in North Carolina that everyone is aware of, and both of these causes were so close to our hearts, and we wanted to be able to donate everything from tonight, split between both of these causes and the flood relief, along with the hurricane relief as well. So also, this concludes the lecture part of our demonstration, but we hope throughout this lecture you've gained enough knowledge about these two beautiful art forms to enjoy the next 3 performances we have planned, and thank you.
Hello again, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed that demonstration and learned as much as I did. So now you'll be seeing a couple of dance pieces that the girls have put together for you. You will first be seeing a pure Bharatanatyam piece, followed by a pure ballet piece, to see the different techniques, expressions, and more being used individually. So now I will introduce the Bharatanatyam piece. This piece is called Guruludi, which is all about Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna is a major deity in Hinduism, and this song is about how once your mind and heart are filled with happiness from the melodies he plays from his flutes, there cannot be any sorrow felt. So please enjoy Guruludi by Veda Gopal, Anupama Joy, Nikita Manoj, Naina Nair, and Samyukta Vipin. Thank you.
கொண்டதினும் அதற்கேற்ப மகுடம் ஒளி வீசவும் மகர குண்டலமாடவும் அதற்கேற்ப மகுடம் ஒளி வீசவும் மிகவும் எழிலாகவும் காற்றில் மிளிரும் தூகில்லாகவும் மிகவும் எழிலாகவும் தென்றல் காற்றில் மிளிரும் தூகில்லாடவும் மிகவும் எழிலாகவும் காற்றில் மிளிரும் தூகில்லாடவும் அகமகிழ்ந்திலவும் இளமொழி தனிலே தன்னை மறந்து புள்ளினம் கூவ அகமகிழ்ந்திலவும் இளமொழி தனிலே தன்னை மறந்து புள்ளினம் கூவ அசைந்தாடி மிக இசைந்தோடி வரும் நலம் காண ஒரு மனம் நாட அசைந்தாடி மிக இசைந்தோடி வரும் நலம் காண ஒரு மனம் நாட தகுமிகு என ஒரு பதம் பாட தகிட தடிமி என நடமாட தகுமிகு என ஒரு பதம் பாட தகிட தடிமி என நடமாட கன்று பசுவினமும் இன்று புடை சூழ என்று மலரும் முக இறைவன் கனிவோடு குழலோதி மனமெல்லாம் கொள்ளை கொண்ட பின்னும் குறையேதும் என கேடடி சதியே குழலோதி மனமெல்லாம் கொள்ளை கொண்ட பின்னும் குறையேதும் என கேடடி
What a wonderful performance! So now next up is the pure ballet piece. This piece you will be seeing is from the third act of Sleeping Beauty at the celebration of Princess Aurora's wedding, where the guests bring presents of gold, silver, sapphire, and even diamonds. So we hope you enjoy this wonderful dance by Kristen Cole, Selena San Jose, Megan Benzing, and Karen Ziller. Thank you. Wow, what an amazing set of performances! After displaying both of these dance forms individually, we would like to demonstrate a final combination for all of you. This one is an instrumental piece by the talented sitarist Anushka Shankar called Dancing in Madness. Aathira, Mira, Julia, and Aubrey will be depicting 4 villagers who wander the forest and interact with forest life, including peacocks, deer, trees, flowers, lions, and even snakes, as they wait for rain to start pouring down. With this piece, you'll be able to see, once again, how Bharatanatyam and ballet can come together to create something amazing. We hope you enjoy Dancing in Madness. invite the pure Bharatanatyam performers up on stage at this time. Let's give them another round of applause. ballet dancers up on stage. And finally, I'd like to invite the main presenters for this evening. However, the main presenters will be staying back to answer any questions that you may have. Once again, I am Neha, and I'm very glad to have been your MC for the evening and hope you enjoyed the performance as much as I did. Thank you.
Okay, so once again, thank you to everyone who made it. I know it's a Sunday afternoon, or evening actually, and everyone has work and school and everything tomorrow, so it means so much to us that you guys made it, and we hope you enjoyed this presentation of everything we've been working over the last couple of months, and yeah, thank you guys for coming. I just want to mention, I know we talked about it earlier, but there is an additional donation box if you guys are interested in supporting our causes anymore. Anything counts. And I really would like to thank a couple of people who made this project what it is today. So a really special thank you to Miss Deborah from Infinity Ballet. We went into the studio with just an idea, and she really believed in us and made this project what it is today. So thank you so much for your support and letting us use your studio and everything you've done for us. In addition, our lovely dance teacher, Meena Rajagopal. Thank you so much for believing in us and giving us support and getting it to where it is today. We could not have been able to do this without you. Okay. So a couple more people I need to thank. All the volunteers and the sponsors for tonight. Thank you guys, and we all are out here in the audience. Thank you to Cary Theater for this amazing venue and working with us to get all the logistics. I can't go without thanking our lovely parents and all the parents involved in this process. You guys made this what it is today, especially to our moms for getting the costumes, our dads for getting the logistics. It could not have been possible without you guys. And I'd like to thank Hannah, Aubrey, and Julia's somewhere. But this project, really, we just came with an idea, and they were able to take it under their wings. And I know they're all busy with their schedules, but they were able to make time for us, and we can't thank you enough. So thank you so much. It was fun. Okay, and
I would also like to thank Sajna Auntie for also helping us with our costumes. We couldn't have done it without you. And Sajna Auntie, Neetu Auntie for the food outside. Was it good? Yeah! I'll need to find those. I'll come to you to find them. And also my little brother, Vaishak Balu, for the amazing video. It was annoying working with you sometimes, but it's okay.
And finally, thank you to everyone here, the audience. You guys made this what it is, so thank you guys for coming out. And
like I mentioned earlier in the presentation, we do have a question-answer session. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask.
Here's your chance.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
oh yes, we do. We love ranjates.
Oh, people should.
I'd like to see one.
Anything at all.
We have one back here.
Yes.
Do Bharatanatyam dancers do splits?
You know. Why don't we?
Is that the question? So do you do
Oh, you do splits.
Do you do splits?
I mean, but you can in Bharatanatyam, you can, and definitely, I think.
Yeah, it's not something like we really stress, but it is with the strength training
that we work on in our lessons. Flexibility goes hand in hand. You can be the most flexible person in the world, but if you have no strengths to maintain it, it means nothing and vice versa. So yeah, the goal is to get all of our splits.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So, in Bharatanatyam, the predominant performance is a solo or a dual performance, whereas ballet performances are by far and large the ensemble performance. Is that true, or is that how?
Okay, sure. Okay. So with ballet performances, there's usually we do have like classical ballets rather than like maybe one specific mythological story. I learned a lot about Bharatanatyam dance and just y'all's culture in this whole process, and it's been really, really cool. I have such a great respect for it. But we do have an ensemble, which in ballet we call the corps de ballet, and in a company that's usually where everybody starts, and then as the ranks move up, that's where you start to see some of the solos, and those are the people that are going to take on maybe specific characters, or for you guys it could be something like one person who may be representing a goddess. For us, that's representing a specific character in a specific narrative, in conjunction with the ensemble, who could be like party guests, or depends on the story.
I'll ask a question. How long does it take to graduate in Bharatanatyam, and how long does it take to graduate in ballet?
It depends on the teacher. For our teacher, there are some people who do it super early into learning Bharatanatyam.
But then if it's someone who starts at a very young age and then continues, it can be up to, I think it means 11 years.
So around 11, 12 years for our teacher.
And for
There isn't really a definition of graduating, but if you do want to join a professional company, typically dancers try to audition around age 18.
We do have a couple of dancers that have graduated from our studio that during summer programs they were picked up by the company that they were attending and were all asked to stay full time. But a graduation-like moment for us is when we're able to get our point shoes. That's kind of the transition from your beginner work to your intermediate work. Kind of, it's a big graduation moment.
That would be around age 10.
10, 11. It kind of varies when you started and when you're like training how your body is growing. Yeah. Yeah.
everything
It's French.
and for us,
Sanskrit.
I have a question.
yes.
What is the significance of Nutcracker? I find most of the ballet schools and ballet dancers always doing a Nutcracker show.
So the Nutcracker is a holiday show, and it has just become a very popular thing to do, and something, the public really likes it, so the company always wants to do it.